Hey guys, this is going to be a quick setup guide for DuckStation. I'd probably say it's the best PlayStation 1 emulator for Windows. I've used EPXE, BizHawk, and Mednafen for years, but DuckStation has simply been the best all-around emulator for upscaling, memory card management, built-in hex editor, and I believe it also runs achievements now. So, step 1, we're going to grab all the parts. In the comments below, I have all these sites linked, of course, but we're going to go over to GitHub. Now, GitHub will have the DuckStation, all the different releases. You just scroll around. I mean, it kind of can be a little daunting, but you're just going to be looking for the latest build for Windows and Linux, which this is just the Windows 10 version, and that's the only one that's actually supported. But all the information is found on GitHub over here. So, go over here, click your DuckStation release. We are going to be looking for the Windows 64 release. Just this one. Click it, download it, you're good to go. If you feel more comfortable going to the DuckStation site itself, we're going to be going to duckstation.org. You can click the wiki, but it never seems to work for me. I don't know if it's just a mistake when I'm making this video, but it always 404s. So we'll go to Windows and grab download the Duck, which will download the exact same file. All right, cancel out of this. Now we have our duckstation.zip. What you're going to do is unzip it, and I have to usually grab it outside of a folder. So either make a quick DuckStation folder and throw it in there and unzip it, or if your zip program has a extract to folder option, I would do that. Otherwise, it just shoots them out everywhere. So now that you have DuckStation download and extract in there, we're going to put in a couple folders that are necessary just to kind of keep everything cleaner. You're going to want to make a new folder for your BIOS. You're going to want to make a new folder for some games. And we're going to do another one for your memory card. You can call them whatever you want, just remember what they are. I can't provide the games nor the BIOS because that is copyright material, but you know, I would be 100% lying if I said that it isn't one of the easiest things in the world to find both on the internet. So with your BIOS, we're going to grab the SCPH 1001 bin file. Remember that. Easily Google it, you can find it everywhere. Toss it over there into your BIOS. Good kid. Now, for your games, I actually am going to bring over some Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So you're going to be looking for bin and queue files from these. Afterwards, I will show you not only how to do that, but I like to play randomizers. So I'm going to keep this one here, the rando, to just load it up manually. Now, we're going to open up DuckStation. Everything is very kind of complicated looking, but it's very easy. Just go down to your settings and just knock them out one by one. General settings, these are more than happy to copy what I have set up. I think save state on shutdown is fantastic. That means whenever you shut down your game, it will just automatically create a save state. So when you load it up, it'll just pop open wherever you last left off. It's pretty convenient. And it's great if something, you accidentally shut it down. Your game list. Now, we recently made the games folder over here. We're going to go to add. Click on your games. Select the folder. Whatever it is, yep, super easy. Now, with Castlevania, see show up in the base menu. Your BIOS. This is where we're going to go to BIOS. And it doesn't show up, but it's there. Now you're happy you got your BIOS. Console, I don't change anything. It's fine how it is. Emulation, same difference. Just kind of ignore it. Memory cards. Now this is a fun one. You can share these between all your games, so this will make it act similar to a regular memory card that you would play on, well, it would just plug into your PlayStation. That's how you generally keep the first card. Now these, of course, are all just little files on your computer, so you can keep trillions of memory cards if you want them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take up any space. I like to keep mine in a folder to keep them nicely sorted. So what we're going to do is make sure you make one. That's kind of the important thing. You don't want to be halfway through, your speed run or some sort of fantastic 100% run and you kind of forget that you don't have a memory card. Which, thankfully, DuckStation has a great memory card editor. Click on your memory card editor. We're going to go to make a new card. It is, we don't want to throw it in the BIOS. Come on, guys. We're going to throw it in the memory card folder. And just call it, I don't know, PlayStation 1 Mem Card 1. I like to number them just because then I remember what to put them in there for. You're going to format your card. I don't actually know if you need to do that on the first time, but why not? It doesn't hurt anything. Save it up. You're good to go. So now you can stick that in your memory card. And when you grab your cards, you just save up there and load it up. The second memory card I tend to just turn off. You don't need it. You're good for now. If you really want to load them up, that's fine, but it saves a lot of time, especially if you're playing something, let's say, like Xenogears, where it loads up all the memory cards really quickly. I wish. Display settings. These are, again, just keep it up with whatever it has. Your enhancement, this is kind of the whole draw to DuckStation over something like BizHawk, we'll say, which just usually does 1-to-1. You can turn your internal resolution up for games. I don't understand the purpose of 4K. You're never going to see a PlayStation 1 game without like a lot of AI upscaling to actually work for 4K. It just doesn't work. There's not that many pixels. For me, 720 makes games look fantastic. It's a noticeable difference, but it's not when you start going crazy higher and they just look like you're smudging everything everywhere. Most of these settings you can just scroll over and it'll tell you if it wants it to be checked or unchecked or the recommendations. And you can, of course, fool around with these. I'm not the best when it comes to the emulation enhancement settings. So what I do is I know there's a lot of people who are much smarter than I am. And I look through a lot of those videos and they show how different settings work. And these are the ones I came up with to make games look nice for me. Take a second, copy whatever you want. If you don't, you could just leave it to the default and just play it that way. But like I said, I don't really see much of a difference between 720 and 4K. Maybe I don't have the settings set up properly. I don't bother. You're not going to change anything. Post-processing, skip all that stuff. Audio. Now, the important thing in audio is I like to turn the fast-forward volume down. When you're fast-forwarding things in games, which is like a wonderful just turbo feature, it does not sound great. It makes the audio go as quick as you're fast forwarding it, and it's just a blaring, obnoxious kind of sound. It's just not great. So I turn mine down quite a bit. And of course, you can change your output to whatever you want. I'm, of course, a man-child, and, well, that's how it is. Achievements. I don't run achievements, but you can set up your stuff, enable them, put your account in. I guess it works fine. I've never used them. Folders. Don't mess around. And that you don't have to mess around either. Now, your other settings, I like to, of course, set up your controller. Your controller is very easy to find. Mine is a 8BitDo Pro 2 controller. So all my buttons are already set up. You just click them and it put in the ones you want. It's very simple. Your hotkeys is the only one that I would kind of throw in there. I like to toggle fast forward onto my R3, which is of course not used on most PlayStation 1 games. So what that'll do is it's a very quick and easy to reach place to just fast forward your games. And I use it quite often if I want to skip over scenes or just doing something faster. Alright, now that we have everything all set up, what I'm going to do is just quickly load up a game. Now, to just load the ones we had from our game folder, all you do is double click it, super easy. But if you have a game file that you have just on the outside, like my randomizer file, I'm going to go open to start file and grab it right there. See, Symphony of the Night Random Bin, super easy. Do a fresh boot. Good way to test out the fast forward, hit R3. You can just tap it again to turn it off. Alright, let's load this up. File select. And you'll get to see DuckStation in action. Now, I do have a save file on here, so I can technically skip this beginning cutscene, but why? To show you some quick gameplay and how awesome it has. The inputs are crisp and clean. Love it. Seems super easy. Looks great. Buns are super great. Really can't complain. Yeah, that's about it. It's really as easy as it gets. It's a wonderful little program. You get to play all your classics. Just a good time. When you're done, you can either just go to exit. You can just save state it, which I generally have my save states already set up with your hotkeys. I copy the old EPSE setup. So, you know, F1 save state, F3 load. Easy. And you're good. Save state for resume. Sure. And that's it. I hope that helped. Either way, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But thank you very much for listening, and have a good day.